This is a tier list purely based upon the super type of a character. Nothing to do with the captain abilities. Nothing to do with the specials. Nothing to do with any of that trash. It is only based upon super type. Shout out Solaris for the database, as per usual. Snakeman super type. He requires Ace, Sabo, and all the Straw Hat units. He deals 75 times the character's taking timeless damage to all enemies, and he boosts the attack of all characters by 2x for 1 turn, transforms all strength characters into super type. It's pretty damn good. It's a very good super type ability, purely because it is damage, so you get wave clear out of it. If you wanted to like speedrun content, you're running double Snakeman. You have 2 super types, that's two waves cleared completely. And he gives you a rainbow 2x attack boost, which is actually kind of insane for what it is. Like, it's a really good super type, and obviously the super typing, but that kind of doesn't matter. And it does, 100% by Babitsu, it does bypass interrupts. We're gonna put him in A tier for now, and we'll move on. Sabo. Now, Sabo is like fine wine. The longer he's in the game, the longer he ages better. That made no sense, but we move. The condition is not hard as well for Snakeman, so it's a very important factor there. Alright, Sabo. He requires Luffy, Ace, Koala, Rebecca. Again, not too hard to actually achieve, purely because a lot of the time when you're running Sabo, you're going to be running Ace, or you're going to be, I mean, now with the introduction of Versus Ace, you can run that. Koala, there's some, I don't know, actually, there's not many good Koala units. Rebecca, not many good units, but purely like, actually, there are some decent Rebecca units, but purely Luffy alone as a super type character, it's inherent to see like how easy it is to proc that super type ability. So his super type ability is boost the chain multiplier by 1.25x for 1 turn. He adds 100k character's attack as typeless damage for 1 turn and transform all enemies. Alright, so this part's irrelevant. I don't need to read this every time. He works very well with Versus Ace, incredibly well. If you haven't seen my most recent YouTube video of building Riolin's 2 billion damage team, Ace is very clutch in that team, and so is Sabo. Chain boost is huge. Chain boost is massive. If I remember correctly, this is also a chain boost very similar to that of the swap effect of Sanji and Judge. So it's added on top of any other chain boost that you get. Chat can correct me if I'm incorrect there, but I'm fairly sure that's how it works. This part here is kind of irrelevant. The chain boost is pretty good. Yeah, it's multiplicative buff, so 6. So it adds on top of the chain boost. So you can run a chain boost and you can run his and get even more of a chain boost. But is it that good? It's not like Snakeman. Like, I would argue potentially B or C tier. I would say he's a B tier. If we're saying Snakeman is A tier and not S tier, B tier is like where he's at. Purely because his damage output is like genuinely insane. Mr. Slam Jam, shout out my boy Broski. Here's where I get a little annoyed. Charlotte Katakuri, Haki that conquers the future. Katakuri must be captain, obviously, and his HP must be below 30%. Now, the good part about the super type like criteria thing is that once you get below 30% HP, it procs his super type, and if you get above 30% HP after that, his super type is still available to use. So it's good in a sense that you can do like do damage to yourself, get below 30% HP. You can have your super type ready to go, and then you can like heal yourself up, maybe using like Halloween lore or something like that. His super type itself being, it ignores delay debuff protection and delays all enemies for 1 turn. It's good, but like if you're not like I feel like the biggest benefit you get out of him is if you use his special in unison with his super type special. But this tier list is purely on the super type stuff, so we can't factor in this part at all. So I don't know, like it's not as good as you would maybe expect if it's purely his super type special alone. Getting to 30% is very annoying, I feel like. I think getting to 30% is very annoying. It's very risky in that sense too. I don't know, chat. What do you guys think? We removed a lot of the tiers because they're unnecessary. Do you think he's S, A, B, C? I think it's a very niche special. I think on On Kizuna, I feel like he can be quite good. A self-proccing conditional boost is always going to be fantastic, but we're not talking about the specials this time around. We're talking purely about the super type. Ryoan's made a fantastic point. It can come in handy, but it's very annoying to proc. And I think Wolfie made a fantastic point as well. He does work really well with the Moby Dick ship, so factor in those kinds of things. Anyway, Blackbeard. He boosts his own attack base by 100 for 1 turn, reduces all enemy positive buff duration by 1 turn, and transforms all in blah, blah, blah. This is honestly, like, it's pretty good because boosting his base attack by 1000 is actually a lot of damage, and that is quite privy when you're looking at things like if you think of like a legend like Sugar, for example, who puts a complete 2500 attack for all characters, and you can see how much damage output there is. It's fantastic. But not only that, reducing all enemy positive buff duration by 1 turn is fucking massive. It is actually crazy. What Venge has mentioned in chat, you can use 4 turn removers. And Treasure Cruise is renowned for 4 turn removers. It's very good. Also, I know we can't talk about this because that's to do with his special, but his cooldown being 9 turns is fantastic. But aside, his super type ability is very easy to proc. Like, very, very easy to proc. Using his special basically lets you proc it within like the first or second usage. I think you can proc it within the first usage, right? No, the second usage it has to be. Very easy to proc. His super type's pretty good. I would say it's better than Sabo's. I'll say it's probably better than Sabo's, but is it as good as Snakeman's? I don't think so. We have Kid. Useless Kid. Someone give Pixel a raise, please. He's a very smart boy. He needs all the supernovas, or not needs them, but he needs at least one of any of the supernovas. So pretty easy to fulfill for the most part. I mean, there's plenty of good Luffy units. Now there's a really good Zoro unit. Laura is nice to have. There's a Legend Hawkins, obviously. Raid Bonnie's a fantastic unit as well. Like, it's a very easy condition to proc. Yeah, he has Drake in his batch as well, so like very good. But he's special. Deals 100 times carry attack and typeless damage. Typeless fixed damage as well. Very important there. Fixed damage. To all enemies that will ignore damage negating abilities and barriers. Changes all orbs, including block orbs, into bomb orbs. And transforms decks into decks. Super deck. The fixed damage is very important. Because fixed damage lets you clear a lot of annoying stages. Those annoying like 6-man stages where we have characters that like have really high defense. The fixed damage will just absolutely pump those stages completely. Getting all your block orbs into bomb orbs is important too because of his captain ability in itself. His captain ability makes bomb orbs count as matching, which is obviously awesome. And even him as a sailor ability, he makes all bomb and super bomb orbs in matching. His super type works really well with his special, but again, we're not talking about that kind of shit. It's really good. Like, it's too bad that Kid, like, overall as a legend is kind of mid. But his super type is pretty good because 100k fixed damage, 100 times attack in fixed damage. So if you're looking at him at level 99, what are we at here? With his limit break, you're at 18. That's like 180k fixed damage. Fantastic. That's a lot of fixed damage. You get a full board of orbs. And then, that's really good in itself. Also, the fact that it goes through defense negating abilities and barriers, fantastic. Kid is only mid because the dex is terrible? Correct. Now the real question. I think he's a B tier character. I think he's B tier. A or B tier, chat? What do you guys think? A. What else? What else do you guys think? A? Get me Snakeman in the front, man. Legend Hawkins. So, Hawkins must be captain, and an active support ability must have been activated by inflicting an enemy action. It is such a specific special criteria. It is so specific. It makes Hawkins must be the captain, obviously, and an active support ability must have been activated by being inflicted by an enemy action. Just that, like, if we're talking about easy to proc super types, Snakeman, you need Straw Hats or like Sabo and such. Kid, you need Supernovas. Both those very easy. Blackbeard, you need to have his attack be a high number. Very easy because his special makes it simple, right? Sabo, you just need specific swath of characters, easy to do. Katakuri, while annoying, also makes it a little, it's annoying, but you can still do it, right? We're gonna do something special. We're gonna add a tier below F tier and call this tier trash. And we're gonna put him here. We're not even done yet. Reduces any damage received by 500 HP by, I don't know, Solaris, man. Come on, dog. Reduces any damage received above 500 HP by blank % for 1 turn. Transform all. Like, it's just not good. Like, it's just not good. Even if, like, okay, it gives you a chance of you can survive, but how often are you trying to live a hit, right? Flash is 100% correct. The best way to survive a hit is just not get hit. It's so plain and simple. What people forget, you don't need to tank hits. It's very rare that an enemy does death-dealing damage or anything of the sort. Like, I don't know. Like, you don't, like, in Treasure Cruise, it's so easy to avoid taking damage. And there's never really a necessity to take damage. Obviously, there are some units like, you know, what Wolfie just mentioned, Super Type Law, you know, you want to take damage to damage back. But Babitsu has literally wrapped up exactly what it is. You know, it lets you survive a hit, which is fantastic. On that next turn, you're going to get hit with paralysis, or you're going to get binded, you're going to get despair, you're going to get characters blown away. Like 95% of the content in Treasure Cruise, you want to beat the boss in 1 turn. Because if you stay for 2 turns, it's just not going to be pretty. Hawkins is a bad character, so we move. Sugar. Now, if we're talking good fucking characters, let's fucking pog. Sugar is so fucking good. Sugar is so good. Amplifies the effect of characters with cost of 40 or less by 2.25 times for 1 turn and transforms blah blah blah. If we were talking about the characters as a whole, she would be the S tier immediately. But we're talking about her super type alone. It's a purely average super type. Suga's super type is just complete average super type for a character. 2.25 times all boost for characters 40 cost or less. Now, you are not going to be popping this super type because by itself, you're only going to ever pop the super type when you use her special. If you're talking about super types alone, I would say it's a B tier. I think Chad is 100% correct. I think Sugar is a B tier legend. She goes at the very front though. Now second, man. Sorry, apologize. I didn't even go to the conditional. My bad. Sugar must be captain. I can't. Stop reading that part. You need to have Doflamingo, Treble, Diamante, Pika, Monet, or Toy Bears. Now, the reason why, like, it isn't a versatile super, like, roster of criteria per se. The odds of you using her super type outside of not having at least, like, sorry, the odds of you having a super type without the Toy Bears is like literally 0. You're never not going to use Sugar's special first before you use her super type. She's a B tier super type character. Like in terms of, I keep saying character, but she's a B tier super type special. Boa. I'm just going to do this to start off with. I'm just going to do that. Like there's not a lot to argue about Boa. Still to this day, Boa's super type is just like unfathomably good. Unfathomably good. All I need to read is she must be the captain and your team must have an end of turn healing buff applied. Now you might think, oh, that's kind of hard to proc. No, it's fucking not. Just use her special. Literally, use her special, you can proc her super type ability. Simple. Then she has the audacity. She changes all orbs into Psi orbs and she boosts the attack of Psi characters by 2.5 times for 1 turn. 2.5 times attack boost, full board of orbs, and her super type is very easy to proc. And no more need to be said, bro. S tier. Now. Oden. Oh no. Oden. Oh no. Oh dearie me. We all wanted Odin to be so much better. We all wanted to look at that art. He's so fantastic. So in order to proc your super type, you need Kinemon, Kanjo, Raizo, Kiku, Shutenmaru, Inu Arashi, Nekomamushi, Kawamatsu, Denjiro, Momonosuke, Hiyori, Roger, or Whitebeard. He boosts his own base attack by 1000 for 1 turn. He changes his own orb into one of orbs. And that's it. You might be arguing, oh, but you just said that, oh, Blackbeard boosts his own attack by 1000. That's really good. Yeah, but Blackbeard does that, and he does so much more than that. This guy gives himself a 1 orb, which don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. A 1 orb is very good. He can't be as good as Blackbeard purely because Blackbeard removes at least 1 turn of debuff. You're running 2 of them, he removes 2 turns of debuff. You need him to be the captain to proc the super type, right? But then in his special alone, he changes strength orbs into 1 orbs. And he makes strength orbs beneficial as a sailor. Why would you not have his super type be, he makes all orbs into strength orbs, and then he does the base boost? If he made all orbs into strength orbs, and then he gave himself the base boost, you know, you could probably special, get a full board of 1 orbs, you know, now you'd be talking a little different, right? It's just not that good. Would I say it's trash? I don't think so. I think the only reason why I'd put him in D tier is because, maybe C tier, we'll probably readjust at the very end here. The only reason why I'd put him in D tier is because 1 orbs are fantastic, and the base attack boost is obviously a lot of damage, but it's not like, wow, right? He gets saved because of the 1 orb, in my opinion. Roger, we're gonna leave. Oh, no, you know what? Fuck it. We're running Roger. Run Roger. Run the set. Roger. Alright, Roger's pretty pog. Roger. Alright, Roger must be captain. And crew must consist of Odin, Rayleigh, Whitebeard, Crocus, Shanks, Buggy, Inu, Neko, and Ace. Pretty decent. Pretty decent. Like, you know, it's not too hard to pop his super type criteria. I think his super special is changes all orbs, including block orbs, into matching, and he locks his orbs for 1 turn. I think Pixel mentioned you get basically 2 turns of matching orbs, because you get an orb block from it. And I think Venge mentioned a very good thing. You're essentially trading out the attack boost for orb block. I think it's a pretty fair trade. I mean, his special alone gives you an attack boost, so it's fine in itself. Guaranteeing yourself a full board of orbs and locking them so you can run them into the next stage as well is always going to be really good. Plus, you know, he's just very fantastic, very easy to proc. I wouldn't say he's S tier. I do think he's A tier though. I think Boa is still better than Roger. I think he's A tier. Because all of these characters here so far, if you've noticed, all of them manipulate orbs. All of them manipulate orbs and all of them do something else. You know, Kid does fixed damage, manipulates for a full board of orbs. He doesn't manipulate orbs, sorry, but he does give you a 2 times rainbow boost, so that's very good. But he does give you wave clear damage, which is good as well. Roger gives you a full board of orbs and locking them. And then Boa gives you a full board of Psy orbs, in which you're going to be running Psy characters like 95% of the time with her. And she gives you 2.5 times attack boost, which in itself is still very, very heinous. So, we pog. Mihokuda. Dracula Mihokuda. Deep Night Dark Road. What a weird translation. I don't remember Mihawk, so this is going to be interesting for me to read. Mihawk must be captain. He must have Zoro, Croc, Doflamingo, Kuma, Moria, Hancock, Jinbei, Blackbeard, Law, Buggy, or Edward Weevil. This guy needs to have any one of the supernovas. Doflamingo's in there. I mean, he's supernova, sorry, so we move. Changes all orbs into matching, adds 1,000 character attack as typeless damage to his own attack, and then transforms there. He is pretty good. The annoying factor here is that he only adds the attack as typeless damage to himself. If that was dropped to like 300 or 400 times, and it was to the whole crew, he might be like up there, A to S tier. But he does change all orbs into matching. He doesn't deal with block orbs though. He doesn't deal with block orbs, but he does give you a full board of orbs, which is obviously going to be very good all the time. He gives himself a bit of damage. His super type special is pretty simple to proc. I would say maybe B or C tier. What do you guys think in chat? B or C tier? He's B. He's definitely low B tier. I would argue he's definitely low B. Still B tier. He is worse than Sabo, but I would say he's B tier. Actually, he'd be C tier, dude. I don't know, man. I would say C tier. I would say you could argue B tier purely because a full board of orbs, but not dealing with block orbs is always a bad thing for orb manipulation. If you don't deal with block orbs, you're like, it's not healthy. Like, it's not good. We're going to leave him in C tier for now. We'll come back to him after some deliberation. Law, you need any one of the supernovas, pretty much. Yep. 50% of crew's max HP. Now, on the super type special itself, it's interesting. The heal is very good, especially in situations like DARP challenges. You get a lot of survivability out of Law. I think like if you talk about his super type alone, he's a C tier character. If you're gonna factor in his whole kit, it's a different story. But I think his super type alone is a C tier super type. Damn, Int is just holding down. Shanks, yeah, fuck off. Just get in there. Get in the bin, mate. Get in the bin. Get him in the bin. Get Shanks in the bin. Shanks goes straight to the dookie bin. You need Luffy, Mihawk, Ben Beckman, Yasop, or Lucky Roo. He changes block, recovery, tandem bomb, and empty into matching. Now, chat, I'm going to ask you guys a question. Does that mean if your crew has regular orbs, he does not change them into matching? Yes. Yes, yes. Oh no. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. No. Okay, saying that alone, right? Not good. Okay, you have a lot of potential to orb manip, block, recovery, tandem bomb, and empty. But if you had just, to start off with, if you had changed this to all orbs, including block orbs into matching, instantly a lot better, right? This part here also makes no sense. Reduces the defense of all enemies by 100% for 3 turns. Why not make it a self-proccing conditional? Or why not make it similar to Katakuri, where with Katakuri, you use his super type special, he delays the enemies, you use his special, he, procs himself, he gets a conditional boost. Vengevine has made 100% correct point here. You're being forced to bring someone to make, like, those orbs matching. Sure, you can partner with Mihawk, but it doesn't make his super type special alone any better. He stays in the trash tier. Germa. These guys are good. Germa's super type special is actually pretty good. The problem with defense standards only for one stage. If the character has 0 defense, you're clearing it in one. Yeah, I guess so. Alright, Germa. Must be the captain. You must have Sanji, Luffy, Nami, Chopper, Brook, Jinbei, or Carrot to proc their super type special. Very, very easy. Very, very simple. They do the chain boost, so exactly the same as what Sabo does. And they lock all orbs for 1 turn. Now, if you're going to factor in their special as well, they give themselves a full board of orbs and you lock them. Now you have something similar to Roger, but this is a super type specials alone. We're talking about which super type unit has the best special, super type special that is. Alone, they're actually really good though. The chain boost is obviously fantastic. It's a lot of damage output. And locking orbs is fantastic too. I think locking orbs is very underrated in Treasure Cruise. I think locking orbs is always going to be a beneficial thing. But their super type alone, I would probably say B tier, because they do something very similar to Sabo in terms of the chain boost. Plus, Sai is an incredibly powerful color in the game. What are we saying? A tier just because it's better criteria. A tier has a special case to factor in special. I mean, that's a good point, Wolfie. Theoretically, like, you could factor in their special because you can have them as a crew, as a sub. Are they really good, as good as Snakeman? I mean, chain multiplicative, like, extra chain on top of a chain boost is a lot of extra damage. Like, a lot of extra damage. I don't know. All right, well, how about we'll revisit it we'll refine the list after we're done. How about that, chat? All right, sweet commanders. Now listen, I don't know, guys. I've already skipped their super time special. You need any of the Charlotte family members in the crew. So most of the time, it's either going to be Perospero, it's going to be Lin, Daifuku Oven, Amand, very short cases, Brule potentially. Mondor is actually a very fantastic strength unit, so 100 times attack, intelligence damage to all enemies, and ignores defense negating abilities and barriers, reduces cooldown of strength characters. They're a D tier character. Because they can clear a stage very quickly, and obviously that stuff is really good. If they had an orb manipulation and the cooldown, they would have instantly shot up to like a B or A tier character, like easily B or A tier. If they had orb manip here with the cooldown too, you'd be talking a different story. Like, you'd be talking a way different story. But I think in itself, they are a D tier character. The wave clear is cool, but the orb, like, there's no orb manipulation. And the thing is, their whole kit has no orb manipulation at all. Special doesn't have it, and there's Captain Billy doesn't do much with orbs either. So it doesn't really do much. Are they better than Odin? I don't know, bro. Odin at least gives himself a 1-0 orb. And a 1-0 slot in itself is a lot of damage output. Okay. I'm going to do Smoker now. We'll leave these two till last. Smoker. Bro, this guy. Come on, cuz. Smoker, no. Smoker must be captain. Your crew must have an attack or orb. It's pretty easy to fill as a criteria. It's a pretty easy to fill. Increased duration of attack, boosting buffs and orb amplification buffs by 1 turn. I don't know. It's not good. Like, I get it. Like, you can pop an attack boost, and you can use you can increase the duration of the attack boost, and like, so you can extend the attack boost into the stage 5, but the odds of the boss removing or clearing buffs, very high. Obviously, you can factor in things like his special, but again, we're not talking about his special, we're talking about purely his super type ability, and it's just not that good. It's just not that good. I would say D tier. I don't know, maybe trash tier, dude. Maybe trash tier. Just because it is an easy super type to fill, I would say D tier as well. I'd agree with that. Kaido. Kaido da. Ore wa Kaido. Now, Kaido. Exactly. Must be captain. HP must be below 50%. Good. Very easy to fill. Again, it's very straightforward in a sense to do that. You could also argue things like, oh, but Katakuri, 30%, you can't say that his is easier to fill. Kaido's is a lot easier to fill because 50% is a lot higher of a chance of survivability. The odds of you actually getting that shit kind of done is good. You have things like the Moby Dick ship as well, where you start at 50%. So, like, you immediately proc it, which is fantastic. And there's a lot less of a risk to dying, with 50%. So, very easy to do. He deals 2 million typeless damage to one enemy, reduces percent damage reduction and threshold damage reduction by 2 turns. Wow. Oh my god. Yo, that's very good. That is so good. I'm glad we're seeing more utility in super types. Like, he is very strong. Percent damage reduction and threshold damage reduction by 2 turns. You're running 2 of him, that's 4 turns. Same thing like running Blackbeard, you can run a 4-turn remover. And now you have 6 turns of removal with only 1 Kaido, 8 turns with 2. Like, it's just very powerful. The utility's busted. This alone, 2 million typeless damage to one enemy is very, very strong. 2 million typeless damage to one enemy is very powerful. Yes, I agree as well. He is going to be very useful for a long-ass time. So, I do think he goes, I don't know, S tier, I think would say. I'd argue S tier for this guy's super type ability. Okay, maybe not S tier, actually. Maybe not S tier. Maybe A tier. Maybe A tier. Maybe not S tier. Alright, A tier. Alright, and then the final. Yeah, and NAO makes him worse. Agreed. Plus, 2 million typeless damage to one enemy is kind of annoying. And I think, like Venj mentioned, there's no orb boosting. Sorry, there's no attack or orb boost or whatever, and there's no manipulation, so it's very frustrating. The utility is crazy though. Finally, Zoro, you need Hiyori, Toko, Luffy, Nami, Usopp, Sanji, blah 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 blah, Straw Hats. Very, very, very simple to fill. Very simple to fill. Zoro, he deals 75 times character attack and typeless damage to all enemies. Boosts the color affinity of Dex by 2x, and then transforms Dex to super. And it's a very good super type special though. It's a very strong super type special. I think a 2x color affinity for 1 turn is really cool. I think that it's very nice. I think in my opinion, if that color affinity was 3 turns opposed to 1 turn, he would be a lot better. Because if he had 3 turns and he's doing damage to all enemies, you can pop him into stage 3. You bring his super type to stage 4. So you bring the color affinity to stage 4. You could pop his in stage 4. You bring it to stage 5. Otherwise, it's like 1 turn is strong, but there's not much else to it other than, it's easy to proc. All right, we're going to put him in B tier. All right, boys. Time for the reshuffle. I think Hawkins and Shanks in trash tier is fine. Do we all agree? Yes or no? I think we're pretty good with Hawkins and Shanks in the trash tier. Yes. Okay. Smoker, Sweet Commanders, Odin. Do you think any of these characters deserve to be up or down? Odin could be C tier. I mean, potentially. I think it's a stay. I think Smoker doesn't do much as a super type alone. I think Sweet Commander's kind of bad. Odin to C tier. Odin to C tier. Do I agree with that? I don't think I agree with Odin to C tier. I think Odin doesn't do enough to get to C tier. All these characters here do a lot more. You could argue that you could compare these two, but I think Law being a heel is way more clutch for a team, and I think Wolfie put it very well. Odin is very selfish. Like, it's very weird to say, but Odin is very selfish by giving himself only a 1 orb and giving himself only a base attack boost. So I'd say that that's fine. Alright, C tier. How do you feel about C tier? I think C tier is good as well, in my opinion. I would probably say it'd be like Law, Mihawk, and Takada. I think that would be a C tier if you're going from like the best unit to the worst unit in the tier. I think Law's super type, although it's just the heal, I think it's really good. I think Law's heal is very clutch as a super type. It's not like a fantastic super type, but it can heal you and it can save you in a situation. Especially GARP challenges, Law will come in clutch a lot of the time and save your ass. B tier. Alright, this is where we're going to get a little bit more spicy. Alright, we're going to go one by one. Okay, Zoro. What do you think about Zoro? I think Zoro is fine in B tier, in my opinion. I think the color affinity is really good, and I think that's about it. Blackbeard, I think Blackbeard is a B tier as well. I think Blackbeard doesn't need to move. Germa, I think you could argue Germa to A tier. I think you could definitely argue Germa to A tier. I think Germa is a low A tier character. I don't think Germa's S tier. I think Germa is S tier if you factor in their special, and purely because you can run them as a crew unit and as like a sailor, use their special, they become captain, now you have a super type ability. Otherwise, purely based upon their super type ability, I would say they're A tier. Sugar, I think Sugar holds fine. I think Sugar doesn't need to move at all. I think Sugar stays where she needs to, and I think Sabo as well. The order of these units, though, I would say maybe, Blackbeard first, Sabo, Zoro, Sugar. I think that's fair. I think Blackbeard, Sabo, Zoro, Sugar. Blackbeard first, Sabo, Zoro, Sugar, we move. A tier. Germa, we've already moved them up. We're saying low A tier for Germa, so that's fine. We'll move them around when they need to move around. Kaido. I think Kaido needs to stay. I think you can argue Roger to S tier. Full board of orbs and orb lock is really good. And I think Snakeman, purely because his super type is a rainbow super type, you could also argue that as well. And I think that it would be very, like, it's huge. I think you could argue Snakeman. I think you can argue Roger to S tier. And I think here you're saying, I would say Kaido is the best in this tier. I think Kaido, Kid, and Germa for A tier. S tier, I think you're saying Boa, Roger, Snakeman. I think Boa is still hands down the best super type in the game. I think Roger, with the fact that you have super typing, orb blocking, and orb manipulation. Snakeman, you have wave clear, and you have a 2x rainbow attack boost. I think we're all good. Awesome. No worries. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.